Tensions between Iran and the United States have intensified dramatically in recent weeks, with both sides presenting sharply conflicting accounts of a dangerous encounter at sea involving one of the world's most powerful warships, the American aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has claimed that its forces carried out a precision missile and drone strike against the massive nuclear-powered aircraft carrier operating in waters near the Middle East. According to Tehran, the attack inflicted serious damage on the vessel and forced it to retreat from the region. Washington, however, has firmly denied those claims, insisting the carrier remains fully operational and continues to conduct military operations in the area. The competing narratives have added to growing fears that the already volatile situation in the region could spiral into a much larger confrontation between two heavily armed adversaries. According to Iranian state media and statements attributed to the IRGC, the attack targeted the USS Abraham Lincoln in waters not far from Iran's southern coastline. The IRGC described the strike as a coordinated military operation involving advanced missile systems and drone technology. Iran's Central Military Command said the attack occurred roughly 340 kilometers from Iran's maritime border in the Sea of Oman. Officials in Tehran claim the strike damaged the carrier so severely that it could no longer continue its mission. Iranian media outlets reported that the American carrier strike group began withdrawing from the area soon after the attack, allegedly heading back towards safer waters. Iranian officials framed the strike as a major show of force and a warning to the United States and its allies. In one of the most striking declarations from Tehran, the IRGC stated the U.S. aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln was struck by 4 ballistic missiles. Iranian military statements further warned that hostile forces operating in the region would face increasing resistance. The land and sea will increasingly become the graveyard of the terrorist aggressors. Tehran's claims quickly circulated across global media and social networks, accompanied by dramatic descriptions of missiles and drones striking the enormous warship. Yet, despite the confident tone of Iran's statements, the government did not release any verified imagery or independent proof confirming the damage to the carrier. American officials swiftly rejected Iran's narrative. U.S. Central Command, which oversees U.S. military operations across the Middle East, dismissed Tehran's claims as false and misleading. In a public statement addressing the reports, the U.S. military said the aircraft carrier had not been hit and remains fully capable of conducting operations. A statement from U.S. Central Command said the Lincoln was not hit. The missiles launched didn't even come close. The Pentagon also emphasized that the carrier continues to operate in support of ongoing American military missions in the region. U.S. Central Command added the Lincoln continues to launch aircraft in support of CENTCOM's relentless campaign to defend the American people by eliminating threats from the Iranian regime. To reinforce its position, the U.S. military released images showing aircraft operating normally from the flight deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln. According to U.S. officials, the carrier strike group remains engaged in regional operations and continues to project American naval power across the Middle East. While the claim of a missile strike remains disputed, U.S. officials confirmed that a tense maritime encounter did occur involving an Iranian vessel and the American carrier strike group. According to U.S. defense officials familiar with the incident, the Iranian vessel approached dangerously close to the American naval formation earlier in the week. Such actions are considered extremely risky in heavily militarized waters where warships operate under strict security protocols. When the vessel failed to maintain a safe distance, American forces responded. A U.S. Navy destroyer reportedly attempted to warn the approaching vessel and eventually fired rounds from a Mark 45 naval gun, a powerful 5-inch deck cannon used by U.S. warships since the 1970s. Multiple rounds were fired in the direction of the Iranian vessel. However, the shots reportedly missed their target. The situation escalated further when an American military helicopter was launched from the carrier strike group. The helicopter, believed to be an MH-60R Seahawk or possibly an Ah-1Z Viper attack helicopter, was armed with Hellfire missiles designed for precision strikes against surface targets. According to U.S. officials, the helicopter fired 2 Hellfire missiles toward the Iranian vessel. Both missiles struck the target. The exact condition of the vessel and the fate of its crew remain unclear. U.S. officials have declined to provide additional details about the aftermath of the strike. At the center of the confrontation is one of the most formidable warships in the world. The USS Abraham Lincoln, officially designated CVN-72, is a Nimitz Abraham-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier commissioned into the United States Navy in November 1989, stretching approximately 333 meters in length and weighing more than 100,000 tons when fully loaded. The ship effectively functions as a floating military base capable of projecting American power across vast distances. The carrier is powered by two Westinghouse A4W nuclear reactors that drive 4 steam turbines, producing nearly 260,000 horsepower. This enormous power allows the vessel to operate for decades without refueling. The ship can carry up to around 90 aircraft, including fighter jets, surveillance planes, and helicopters. Together with its escort ships, including guided missile destroyers and cruisers, the carrier forms the centerpiece of a carrier strike group capable of conducting complex air and naval operations. The USS Abraham Lincoln currently serves as the flagship of Carrier Strike Group 3 and plays a major role in American military deployments around the world. The confrontation occurred amid a significant buildup of American naval power in the Middle East. The United States has deployed multiple warships to the region, including 2 of its most powerful aircraft carriers. Alongside the USS Abraham Lincoln, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the newest and most advanced carrier in the U.S. Navy, has also been operating in nearby waters. These deployments come as the United States intensifies its military operations amid escalating tensions with Iran. Carrier strike groups typically include guided missile destroyers capable of launching long-range missiles and conducting anti-submarine warfare. Reports indicate that vessels such as the USS Spruance and the USS Michael Murphy have been operating alongside the Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea. The presence of these warships underscores the scale of American naval power currently deployed in the region. This is not the first tense encounter between Iranian and American forces in recent weeks. Earlier in 2026, an Iranian drone approached the USS Abraham Lincoln while it was operating in the Arabian Sea. U.S. officials described the drone as flying dangerously close to the carrier. American fighter jets eventually shot down the drone after determining it posed a potential threat. According to U.S. Central Command, the drone was part of Iran's Shahed series of unmanned aircraft. The U.S. military reported no casualties or damage during that incident. Iran, however, said the drone had merely been conducting surveillance in international waters. The differing accounts again highlighted the deep mistrust between the two sides. One of the most striking aspects of the current confrontation is the stark contrast between the narratives offered by Tehran and Washington. Iran claims the USS Abraham Lincoln was severely damaged by missiles and drones and forced to withdraw from the area. The United States insists the carrier remains unharmed and continues to conduct operations. Independent verification of either claim has proven difficult. Fact-checking organizations and analysts note that no credible visual evidence has emerged confirming that the aircraft carrier was struck. Some viral videos circulating online that appeared to show a damaged aircraft carrier were later identified as artificially generated or unrelated footage. The lack of verified evidence has only deepened the confusion surrounding the incident. The confrontation highlights the growing strategic competition between Iran and the United States across the Middle East. The region remains one of the most heavily militarized maritime zones in the world. Key shipping lanes, including those passing through the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman, carry a significant portion of global oil supplies. Any military escalation in these waters has the potential to disrupt global energy markets and international trade. Iran has repeatedly warned that it could threaten shipping routes if confronted militarily. Meanwhile, the United States maintains a large naval presence in the region to protect international shipping and deter potential aggression. Despite the seriousness of the encounter, American officials have been cautious in their public comments. When reporters sought clarification about the clash with the Iranian vessel, U.S. defense officials declined to provide additional details. One official simply stated, "We have nothing for you on this." The brief response has done little to calm speculation about the scale and implications of the confrontation. Military analysts say the lack of detailed information may reflect the sensitivity of the situation. The presence of multiple aircraft carriers and warships from opposing sides operating in close proximity raises the risk of accidental or intentional clashes. Naval confrontations can escalate quickly, especially when ships operate in contested waters where political tensions are already high. Even minor incidents, such as a vessel approaching too closely or a drone flying near a warship, can trigger defensive responses that escalate into larger confrontations. Experts warn that such incidents highlight the fragile balance between deterrence and escalation in the region. As Iran continues to challenge U.S. naval forces and Washington maintains its expanding military presence in the Middle East, the risk of further clashes remains significant. The USS Abraham Lincoln and its accompanying strike group remain key components of the American military posture in the region. At the same time, Iran's Revolutionary Guard has repeatedly demonstrated its willingness to confront U.S. forces directly. For now, the truth behind the alleged attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln remains disputed. What is clear, however, is that tensions between the United States and Iran are rising rapidly, and the world is watching closely as events unfold across the waters of the Arabian Sea.